incognito mode. The browser best used, or browser mode best used for exploration. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah, you are. She judges us as if
Me all the time.
only one of them that's not X-rated.
That's not true.
Nikki is a female brony.
What? No.
Nikki's pony jar is massive.
No, and I actually Googled that because of a video that we watched.
On incognito mode. You could say that
probably
was exploration.
Bad exploration. Don't look it up if you don't know what it is.
Period.
Alright. So, this is incognito mode.
This is incognito mode. We're in the danger zone right now. Internet historian back at it again. I'm ready to check this one out. It's been out for a week. I think, is it fair game to do reactions now?
I think so.
Are we going to go into Facebook comment jail? Or not Facebook comment, but YouTube comment jail?
You just aged yourself.
I didn't age myself. I have a white fucking beard. I'm bald. Like, what do you mean I've aged myself? Anyway, let's see what kind of crazy shit he is going to bring up in this video, because as we know, he may loosely stick to what the title says the video's
My
about.
brain loosely stick. Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Anyway,
Oh.
is it the bald pussy that's walking around?
Okay, let's go.
Here we go.
Ah, no one's climbed this one before. Whee! Witness this moment, local. Make a note, boy. Yeah, I used to plow once. Maybe I should explore my sexuality. What the hell is that? A gun!
All this and more.
First things first, a little bit of admin.
Yes.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, thank you.
I just wanted to let you know, in honor for the rest of the month.
Well, maybe just for the next 10 minutes.
Look, I'm still gonna say them, but I just won't say them with as much vitriol. How about
How
that?
about I'll pull a Tay-Zonde and pull away from the mic to say them?
You imagine that? Like, we're just having a chat, and then you just hear, like, a quiet slur. Like, just in the mic opposite.
Just off in the distance. You're right. What, did you say something?
No.
Nope.
No, I didn't.
And of course you've got your Discord set up so that like it's so sensitive that it picks up even the small.
Happy Pride Month. That's how fast he said it.
We're flying to Hawaii in a couple of months. When you look at that on the map, just chilling, eating fish and fucking coconuts and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was fairly brutish as well. Like, Captain Cook, he died in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he got run over.
Does anyone have a flu? Serious. You can't come if you're sick. No,
Yeah.
no, I swear, it's just my allergies. It's just the sea air. All right. And then they brought him along, and then he sneezed on one of the locals, and then, 90% of the population died.
Just ran up and sneezed on him.
And then he went back to England or whatever. And in the meanwhile, the Hawaiians are going, what the heck? They put a curse on us. And then Captain Cook shows up again and he's going, I'm loving this. This was brilliant last time. They had coconut bras. They had coconut cocktails.
Coconut music.
Yeah. They didn't have horses, but they would clap the coconut halves together. Grass skirt, loving it. Especially when there was a strong breeze.
Hawaiian shirts.
Moana on TV. And anyway, what's going on?
Hey, what the hell, man? Pretty sure I heard something different. That doesn't seem right.
Well, you calling me a liar?
I don't know. I heard something different.
Yeah, hold on, let me Google.
No, let her cook. That's sick.
It's not very nice.
I'm glad we ate him.
We killed Cook.
They didn't know about germ theory. They didn't know. All right, this lady didn't give us any substantial information. So we consulted Wikipedia as to what actually happened. Okay, so here's what happened. So Cook, right, he returns, and it's not just him, there's other people with him. They return to Hawaii,
Yep.
and they need to do repairs because their ship, the mast is broken. While they're doing that, there's a series of thefts from Cook's camp. It says here that they stole iron tongs and baskets.
Oh.
So it's the valuable stuff, you gotta keep that in the vault.
The real high value items.
So they put up with the thieving and the pinching for a while, but then, so they've got these boats, right? So they park them in the ocean you don't want to get too close to the beach. You don't want to get stuck on the shore. So
Oh,
you then
sure.
take these little boats all the way to the shore, and they're called cutters. At one point, they discovered, hey, someone's stolen one of our little boats. So the next day, Cook and about 10 of his dudes, they march ashore, right? And they go up to the Hawaiian king, and his name is like Turiabu. And return the boat, please. Also, I want those tongs back. And that basket.
And also, how did you possibly get past our security to steal the tongs and basket?
But and he's shot and killed.
Real bad timing. I'm like, oh, hey guys, what's happening here? Bang! just real wrong place, wrong time.
I got those 10 Hawaiian pizzas you ordered.
Pizza time.
So they're like, we got to get out of there. We got to get off this island. We've made a big mistake.
Yep.
Huge. And then while they're pushing their boats into the water, Cook and the crew are attacked by the natives. Uh-oh. Now, they're fighting, and it's like it's all in slow motion, and Cook turns around, he shoots and he kills a native warrior. At that point, he is then struck with a wooden club, and then someone stabs him with an iron dagger.
Real like level 1 goblin items to be killed by. he took a collective 12 damage from that.
Cook then fell down, and he, along with 4 other soldiers, were never seen. And then they like weirdly preserved his body and did a whole bunch of things. We can't show the images; it's very gruesome. I think they kind of liked him by the end.
How this other chief was shot and killed. Well, I suppose the instigating event was the theft, but that definitely escalated it a little bit. Like, I'm so sorry to the editor who has to proofread all the nonsense that I've all the nonsense and half truths.
Yeah, things that we've like overheard in a fever dream.
Yeah, like vague, heard half of at a pub
When
because
we're in the club, or we're in the like somewhere cool.
Yeah.
Me just with an ear to a glass at the toilet stall and at the kebab shop, and I'm just like, yeah, that's a good fact.
Yeah,
I'm loving that.
I'm gonna put that's going.
What else happened?
Right in the brain, right in the memory hole for later. They're gonna love this one.
The memory hole.
Ad time. Nordman, I sentence you to 2 years in the prison, Slammer. But I'm innocent. And just so you learn a lesson, here's 4 additional months.
My God.
It's hell in here. They track your every.
I hope you'll accept them.
There's no privacy in this jail at all. It's like a goddamn prison.
We have trackers all over this prison, and we're gonna use that to collect data and sell it to marketers. But someone here has been using
A crew. Warden.
Have it your way then.
Just let me out, Warden. You don't have to make this such a huge deal. Wait a minute. Something in my prison wallet.
Aluminum foil.
Who's this? Saley eSIM.
The Saley eSIM gives you 20 gigabyte. And then you pair it with the NordVPN app, and then you're totally anonymous as well, and you can pretty much go anywhere and do anything.
A gift when you sign up to NordVPN.
Hello? Nord 24 hour.
Where did he go? Impossible!
Come with me.
I can't. I belong here. But where are you gonna go, kid?
With Nord's thousands of servers around the globe, anywhere but here.
Final call for the flight. All passengers.
I changed my mind about jail. Saley man, I sentence you to a life sentence with me. But he went on to commit many, many more crimes. So get NordVPN today with nordvpn.com/incognito. Get a huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 extra months. And when you sign up using my link, you... Would you...
Yes, I played Bioshock 1 and 2. That seems like an awful idea.
Horrible.
It'd be fun to visit, maybe.
I'd quite like to live under the ocean.
Really?
That seems really neat, you know, live in a big glass semicircle.
You have like a chute, like a window that just opens up and just fish pour in, you close it, fish flop in. The apple pie on the windowsill just gets obliterated.
Now, I wanted to show you this because I saw this the other day and I thought it was very neat. Okay, so this is a very cool channel. It's called Natural World Facts, right? And this particular video is on brine pools. And so what happens is, at the bottom of the ocean, there are different levels of salinity, and sometimes you end up with these pockets of exceedingly salty water. And so it's like, oh, this guy's, here's this crab, and he's loving it, and look at all these mussels. Brilliant.
You'd be stoked.
Absolutely. And then there's a pool over here, and somehow it's breached its wall, and then it's just slid downhill, and it spills out. Like it finds like its lowest point, right? Because it's heavier than the rest of the water.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And there's all these like oysters that are like, it's great being down here, lower than the brine pool. I'm loving this.
Look at those idiots up there stuck in the brine pool, unlike us. Downhill chads.
Food's falling down here all the time. We're getting big and fat and we love it.
The downhill chad versus the brine pool virgin.
And then it's like, hey, what's that? What's that smell? Is it getting darker? 5 seconds later, he's like, I can't get out of the way. I can't get out of the way. And they just get devastated.
So, what's down here?
Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dead.
Puppy off a cliff. You'd feel horrible.
Right.
But like discusing a fish off a cliff, that would honestly be one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They're so alien looking, they can't emote that you don't really feel bad for them. I feel like being a fish is at least see the world around you.
Right.
Fish is like, you can see at most 2 to 5 meters in front of you.
Yeah, you got your eyes at the side of your head.
At any point, you can just get Five Nights at Freddy's jump scared by like a bigger fish, of which there is like infinite amounts of.
Like, oh, wow, look, I taste something in my mouth. And you've just got the hook now forever. It's like, there's something between my teeth. Steve, could you get this?
Could you imagine just having, even just the idea of like something between your teeth and you can't do anything about it, but imagine, then just having like, and not only do you not have the capability of removing it, nobody you know does.
Yeah. And no one feels any sympathy either. At best, you get you got a new piercing.
Yeah. Damn, Jeff's gone metal, huh?
Well, I think it's because no matter what, the fish's life ends in a brutal and violent way.
Yes.
There is no fish retirement.
The fish grows up.
Hold my fin.
I see the light. No, it's getting eaten, torn apart. Your cheek's getting pulled by a rod. You're getting dissolved by stomach acid alongside 500 other fish in the whale's guts. You're drowning in saltier water. There's no good out.
No.
For a fish. Because, the idea of being a fish is like, you're in like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 24/7.
Every direction they turn around, you hear the revving of the chainsaw.
You're literally running 24/7, except you've also got 2 extra axes to deal with, because a fish could come from above or below too.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You can't like hide behind a bush. I guess you could hide in some rocks on the seabed. And also visibility, right? Like, unless you're in crystal clear waters.
And there's no way that they look fucking weird.
But you reckon they're like,
weird at the
it's
surface.
like, they can't bring it up. Kind of offensive, like,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they're just like, they're little fish kids. They go, no, don't be insensitive. Hey.
It's like when a child sees like a disabled person and starts like pointing at them or whatever, and just like, no, that's just how they are. It's okay. There's like a pretty high percentage chance you don't get out of that.
I just don't see the appeal.
Exactly.
You got to take like 3 weeks off work.
Yeah, there's a good chance you can just starving to death. Like there's innumerable way. Like, when it's something like this, like the image you have there, it's like, you just see more snowy rocks. It's not like you're not uncovering like a hidden lagoon or valley or something. That's for the people. So it's like, I've heard during peak time of the year, it's literally like, didn't someone do it in like shorts? One of those like guys who says they can like control their body temperature. I'm not kidding. I think a guy did do that.
No
Is it?
way.
Yeah, it's Wim Hof. I thought it was him. The Iceman says he's able to like regulate his body temperature and shit.
There must be something to it if he can.
Yeah.
If he didn't die.
You'd be pissed off, wouldn't you? Like you've spent several $1,000s at Kathmandu kidding yourself out, and you just see some guy.
Yeah.
Like, is it
My brain is still
depraved
so
or something? You're just in your.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean.
He's just combat rolling to the top of the.
Let me tell you what I explored.
Okay.
I explored the bookshop on the weekend.
That's like a mental exploration.
I used to have a lot of books. Like a lot of books.
You seem well read.
I'm not particularly well-read. Well-read. But what happened was, quickly, I accumulated a lot of books. And anyway, I moved to one place and then a flood happened. And then I moved to another place. They got kind of left to the elements and so much my own stuff. And I thought, I'm just going to start the collection again. And so this weekend, I went to the bookstore and I got some better books. Some books.
$2. I think it's pronounced mango.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what all the fuss is about.
Yep.
So I got a couple of those. I'm wandering around and so I'm in that sort of aisle and there's a whole bunch of tarot. And it says on a sticker, please see at the counter. They can't trust tarot cards in the store regular.
What the
Interesting. So I went to the front counter and I bought my couple of books and I said to the lady, why are all the tarot cards behind a copy of Berserk up the back? And we don't even keep it at the front counter.
Yeah.
We keep it in the storage out the back.
That does not surprise me because I've tried to buy the first edition of Berserk, so I'm like, I want to read this, but it's never anywhere. And I just assumed,
Yeah, I've heard it's Parker Brothers thing.
yeah. It was just some goofy board game from like the 60s.
Got questions?
Like
Don't be
Toys
left
R
in the
Us?
dark. New glow-in-the-dark Ouija.
It'd be like if Mousetrap turned out to be haunted or something.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. It's like, whatever you do, do not go seeking the cheese.
Do not
I do
go
once, and boy, do I regret it. Do you remember the Mousetrap ad?
It's
That's
a crazy
funny thing, man.
contraption. Wait,
No, it's the crazy action. Something action. The crazy contraption.
The fun is catching its mousetrap.
Fuck.
What they should have for the I could fully take that so easily.
Yeah.
It's
But you
small,
do.
so you just-
Dated, and you'll be playing games where there'll be the implication of a wider world, but you just know, and the reality is there's nothing there. Like if I could just jump over this wall, I'm in a void.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, like you're playing Cave. You're
It
expecting
is a
to
thing. I
encounter
remember that.
Doug Trio
Whatever.
and
Yeah.
Zubats,
And
but
then
instead it's nothing. As I walked through,
Pokemon Blood Red or something. Pokemon, what's a scary color? Pokemon Grey, actually, that's kind of cool. That's a liminal color.
is there like an adjective we can throw on it? Like,
No.
what about like morbid gray?
I feel Pokemon Grey. I feel
Green.
like Pokemon Kill Your Parents Orange.
Where does this go?
I got it.
Yeah.
The weird thing was, the man at the EB Games insisted that this was the best version.
No.
It's weird though.
Stranger
Never
Things
seen
stuff.
that man working there before.
When he spoke. Oh, fucking hell, it's perfect.
But it was blank, as though the programmers had forgotten to type anything in. And that was when it happened. The Pokemon battle music started playing,
But backwards.
and
But
all
backwards.
distorted.
Eventually, I came to a crossroads. I could either go left. Eventually, I got tired. I went onto the darknet and I started asking, what's going on? And then someone finally replied, never go left. Luckily, till then, I had only ever gone right. And the username was just
H3LPM3.
Oh my god.
I logged back onto my Game Boy. I
doing
turned
creepypasta.
left. That's when it happened. I blacked out. In the game and in real life. Hello? Is anybody there?
But all I heard back was echoes. As time went on,
That's it. They've always got their priorities wrong, yeah.
I came across several piles of bones.
I bent down over one of the skeletons and I saw in its pocket a journal. I opened the journal and I read the first page. It said, I'm so happy. Today I just bought my copy of Pokemon Grey.
All this is written down in a journal.
I flipped through the pages and then I found it in the cave.
This person's style of writing was familiar.
Oh my god.
My suspicions were confirmed when I got to the final page. All that it was
Bottom of their last journal entry, H3LPM3.
That's when I realized it was saying
I started to get closer to Ash Ketchum, but he wasn't usual. He was 18 feet tall, and his limbs were all very lanky, not like in the cartoon.
come with TV static.
And I blacked out.
And then you woke up back.
When I woke up, I was in a strange, new place. It was still the cave, but in the distance, I could see lights like those of a hospital room. There was a hospital bed in the cave, and Ash Ketchum was in the hospital bed. I went over there to see what was going on. Wait a minute. I had seen a theory about this.
That's when I looked back again and I realized.
More static. He can't open his mouth and more static comes out like this. He can!
I blinked and now I was.
Just woken up and my parents were around me. They said that I fainted.
I was looking around for my Game Boy Color, but I couldn't see it anywhere. I asked my dad and he said,
All time.
How do you play
this
in
experience
Game Boy?
shook me to my core, but my dad and mum both reassured me that.
Jesus Christ, that's so stupid. A few weeks later, I was at a cafe out with my girl when all of a sudden I looked across the table and what I saw, it shocked me to my core. The guy from EB Games is just like there, like Michael Caine giving like a knowing nod at the end of Batman.
Yeah. Like a pedestrian walks past and he's gone.
That's it, yeah. Or it's got to be like a suspenseful thing, like, uh-oh, think of what the ramifications for the whole world will be. So, over the years, I've tried to put that all behind me, keep it out of my memory. Maybe it really was all just a dream. Except, one day, I was browsing the Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
And someone had uploaded the ROM, Pokemon Void Black. There it was. And it had been downloaded
They messed the name up.
30 million times.
I clicked on it, and the description was just an assy art picture of Ash Ketchum's face in the bed. Exactly how I remember it.
I ran downstairs. I knew my dad liked to use the Pirate Bay. I went into his study. I burst through the door. Don't play that ROM. But when I opened the door to his office, there was just a chair, an empty pile of clothes, and the ROM was open. He had gone to a liminal space, and I would never see him again.
All I heard was that familiar beat. Beep, 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 beep.
Thanks again to NordVPN. Don't forget to get a huge deal on our 2-year plan.
So they were like explorers, you know,
Hawaii.
going to Hawaii, and then
Yeah, no, it's just them rambling and then like eventually getting to different
Then they were talking
topics
about exploring the ocean,
and how it would suck to be a fish.
and then climbing Mount
climbing.
Everest. And then they started talking about exploring a bookstore.
And that's how it started.
And it just
Yeah.
careened off of a fucking cliff.
Okay, so
How did they get
hold
from
on, hold
no,
on.
hold on.
Okay.
How did they get from the bookstore to the Pokemon ROM?
So
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap.
Oh,
old
exploring
games.
old games. So then they just started making a
Yeah.
game up.
Okay,
at
so
the
let's
end.
start at the beginning because like as this was happening, I was like, oh man, I have to try to remember that because like I want to say something,
Okay.
but I don't
Oh,
want to pause the video.
Exploring sexuality.
No, that's not the part that we're gonna get to today.
Okay.
Okay,
Hawaii.
Hawaii. So
Yeah.
I have 2 Hawaii stories. Never been there.
Go ahead.
Still somehow have 2 Hawaii stories.
Get it.
My dad was gonna get married to my stepmom. Never did, which is a good thing.
Damn.
This lady was horrible.
Shade.
This lady was horrible. But I was like, maybe like 9, 10.
Mhm.
And my best friend and I were like super close. And so they were like gonna get married and they were gonna go to Hawaii for their honeymoon. And I was like, are you gonna drive there? And Dad's like, nope, don't think so. And then he had to explain to me, you can't fucking
So
drive.
you were legitimate. That was
So-
in earnest. You were
Oh
asking.
yeah. No, yeah, not me being a dick. Just like, and then he's like, no, I'm gonna fly. Now I'm 31. I'm getting ready to take my first flight ever in a couple of weeks. So like the thought of like my dad flying somewhere, because I don't think he still ever has, except for when he was a baby. Crazy, like not an option, you know. So we were going in our minds. Our plan was we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we're gonna stuff ourselves in your luggage and somehow make it to Hawaii. So that was my first.
Y'all would have froze to death.
No, we would have been caught at the airport, and they would have.
Well,
that
that's
would have
true.
completely ruined their honeymoon, and also
And potentially your
picking
lives.
up a suitcase with a small child in it. Probably gonna be able
allowing the child to get in the suitcase.
No, he was
To begin with.
I was gonna sleep.
Oh,
That was my plan.
yeah, your
Surprise!
ninja skills are
We're
not.
in Hawaii. This is crazy. Yeah, that was
You have
my
no
plan.
ninja skills.
My second Hawaii story is maybe even more embarrassing. I
Okay.
think I was younger than 10 at this point. I think I was like, maybe like 7.
Okay.
And there was this boy that moved to my very small school. And everybody, all the girls were like, oh my God.
Oh,
because
really?
he's the new boy, you
Mhm.
know? And I was just like, I like this boy. And so all the girls were trying to like talk to him and everything. And we were in the lunch line. And I was like, you know, like twirling my hair, like, oh my God, you're from Hawaii. This is like crazy. And he's like, no, I have already told you like 6 times. I'm from Ohio. I was like, I know, Hawaii, like palm trees and the sand. And he's like, I'm from Ohio. I've never been to Hawaii. I've never even been to the beach. And I'm like, how have you never been to the beach? I don't know. I don't know when it clicked. But I finally figured out that he was not from Hawaii.
You're like female Forrest Gump
Dyslexic.
or
I think I'm
something.
like maybe like dyslexic in the way that I think. Is that a thing? I don't think so.
No, you're just trying to romanticize being a dumbass. I think that's pretty dumb, dude.
Oh, that was so embarrassing.
I've thought some really stupid shit. You may have me beat with Ohio and Hawaii. I will say that. But yeah,
I
there
just
you
remember
go.
being like, where is Ohio at? Is that a thing?
So then we had the ocean. Dude, fuck the
No.
ocean, man. Like
No,
I'm
you
not
didn't
even
really get in.
I'm not like, to me the ocean and space are the same thing. It's just this place where
Yeah.
like I can't breathe and there's shit that we don't know what it is and I'll probably die.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
even like those cute little like octopus that can kill you and they're like super tiny.
I don't want to be in no spaceships and I don't want to be in no damn submarines.
No, I
No.
would never. I
No.
would never.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. I had a I didn't
I
have
don't
to
want to
be-
be on a ship.
yeah, I
Ghost
didn't
in the Navy.
I did not have to be on no ship. But I did serve with a doctor who was on a submarine and told me about a guy who purposefully got them to kick him out of the Navy. He acted like he was driving a motorcycle everywhere he went on a submarine, where you have to be in close quarters with everybody. And when he got discharged, when they were porting so that he could get off the submarine and leave, said he rode his motorcycle out to the end of the dock, kicked the imaginary kickstand, and then walked away.
I don't know why that reminded me of a story that I should probably not tell. Pretty it was stuck a jar of peanut butter up an orifice. So when he went to get his like physical, they were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I don't think that's true.
Well,
I
my
don't-
history professor told
I
me
don't think
that.
that's true. Well, he may have like put peanut butter,
No, I don't know.
not a jar.
He said a jar.
Listen, Nikki, there is footage of this being attempted with a jar,
I know.
and it does not work out.
I found that out the hard way.
So, anyway, so the ocean, we're going to go ahead and throw that
All
out.
right.
I think the next one was Mount Everest.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No, thank you.
Listen, like, I am from the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah,
I don't hike. I don't know anybody that does really hike.
I know plenty of people that
I
hike.
know people who do it sometimes,
Mhm.
but I don't know people who are like avid
Avid.
hikers.
I think we need to end this here. I think that people will think
No,
more
hold
of
on.
you if we do
Hold
not
on, keep going.
continue
There
down
was
this
something
road.
Else. I know there was something else.
Oh my God, dude.
Mm,
Did you smoke a blunt before this or
No.
what? Okay, the bookstore hurt my feelings when he started talking about collecting like
Shitty books.
shitty books because I have a Goosebumps collection. It's the biggest book collection that I have.
It
Are
really
Goosebumps
is.
books.
It really is.
I do have a lot of cool books though. I've got like the most interesting books that I have are
You can't tell that I read, but I do.
I inherited them from my
Yeah.
step grandfather, and they're like books from like the 60s and the 70s about like crack cocaine and heroin and like
And they're in our living room.
mushrooms and like weed and all kinds of drugs and shit, and like places to buy like seeds and stuff for growing marijuana from the
then,
60s.
From then, yeah.
Which means it was absolute shit because it was fucking horrible back
Right.
then. I love when like old stoners are like, back in the day, we blah blah
Smoked
blah.
so
It's like
much. Yeah.
scientifically, it is proven that you are fucking wrong. Like
Well,
your
like-
weed was horrible. Your guys' weed was so horrible. You had to like dip it in psychedelic drugs to be like, oh, that shit's blah blah blah.
Like I would watch on a movie and they would just like smoke a whole joint, and I'm like, I would literally die.
Yeah.
I would die. I would die. I remember like not smoking for a really long time,
Right.
and then thinking like, oh no, I can like I was at a party like I got this,
Warped.
dude.
Yeah.
Hands down worst experience ever.
Especially, well, you were drunk beforehand. So then you get crossfaded and you're not even like
I
on
don't
that
think I even
level.
drank that much at that
Um,
point because it was like I had just gotten there.
yeah.
I don't remember.
But back in like the 90s and shit, 80s and 90s, rappers are talking about smoking, and they're like, you know, I took this L to the face, and, you know, smoking the whole thing. It's like rappers do that now, and you see interviews with them, and they're like, yeah, dog, I was, you know, yeah. And it's like, no wonder mumble rap is a thing.
Oh my
They can't even move their
God.
fucking lips. They're doing dabs and all this shit. Like, mumble rap came out of necessity. It's like, make a noise, dog. We're recording. You
said
got to do
doing
something.
dabs, and my brain literally
Uh-huh.
like thought of like somebody like doing. I just started a new antidepressant, so my
That
brain's a
probably
little-
is why
brain's a
dabs
little-
started being a thing, because people were just fucking like, no, it's a dance move, dude. I'm not passed out into their fucking shit. Or like, I think somebody said something to me about it being where people were coughing into their fucking arms. You know what I think about it? I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
That was a shitty like, man, we had some dumbass trends like the fucking Superman Soldier Boy
I was
dance
getting
and all
ready
that.
to say. I was getting ready to say.
But there ain't nothing that's more lame than them fucking Fortnite dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit was fucking lame.
There is a video somewhere out there, unless it was deleted immediately because it probably should have been, of me doing the Soldier Boy dance. We've talked about this before.
I was making fun of motherfuckers when that shit came out.
My friend doing the dance.
Yeah, y'all were fucking lame as shit. The Pokemon, they made
Orange, kill your parents, orange.
they made a Pokemon ROM hack creepypasta.
Yeah.
That is some
You would've
innovative
never-
shit.
Yeah, you would have never like
Never thought of
Yeah.
that.
liminal space.
But it was like an inside joke inside of an inside joke inside of an inside joke, and it went deep inside of me.
Oh, did it?
So deep.
Happy Pride.
Deep. Oh yeah, happy Pride.
I think that would be so. Like we've talked about doing a potential podcast a lot,
We have.
and I think that just like not having a thing gets you somewhere like that.
I mean, we tried that,
Yeah,
and then I just started preaching about something.
it did happen, and then we
And
had
then
to
you
delete
started
it.
preaching about something. It's
No,
never
at the beginning
seen
of
the light
the
day.
video, we're like, this is just gonna be for fun. We're not gonna get into heavy topics, and then we're like,
You gotta change
billion
your life.
shares.
Yeah. Change your life. Start the revolution.
Ugh.
The revolution will not be televised.
Anyway,
I just figured out what that meant the other day. Someone was talking about what, back in the day when they would say the revolution will not be televised.
no, I've never heard that.
Get some culture.
What?
Get
Where?
some
Why
culture.
would I? What's that from?
The revolution will not be televised.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Okay.
thank you guys for watching this reaction. I don't know why you would, but you have. Thank you for that. Make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself when you go to the bathroom, because you never know who's going to walk in there after you. And they deserve to be able to take a shit in peace and comfort.
Chad had a rough
Just
day,
like
and not
you
at
do.
home. Bye,
Bye.
guys.